I think it's a similar, it's kind of tied into what Amanda said, where, the Harris candidacy has led to, an increase in social media usage to reach a younger demographic. And so a lot of people, their first place when they're going to learn about products and get information, start research, is something like TikTok or YouTube rather than Google or a true search engine.
We have Drew back, but with Gen Z, we see a good portion of that demographic primarily using TikTok as their search engine. And I think a lot of us, millennials included, can kind of get stuck in the mindset that Gen Z is still very young. They're not in the demographic that has the spending money where we're looking to target them. And I would caution everyone to remember that the oldest Gen Z generation is 27, 28 years old. So they are kind of in that perfect demographic where they're starting to have more disposable income. And we know they're using TikTok as a primary search tool. And that really leads us to need to rethink the video content that we're creating, that we're putting out there, and think differently, because the same content that we're putting on CTV, that we're putting on OTT, isn't going to translate the same way to that platform. So it's not just about being there, but it's being there in a way that's going to generate interest, engagement, results. Ads are skippable. So if we're not catching their attention, they're going to scroll on past.
Absolutely. And it's not just creative, fun, engaging content. There's also a strategy behind it to utilize the algorithm. You found some good examples of people just dominating on the TikTok search. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes. So in auto specifically, there's a really great account. If anyone on the call is in auto, I would encourage them to look at it. It's Mohawk Chevrolet. They have really taken TikTok and just built a strategy that has dominated. It's gotten the attention of Ad Age. I've seen it all over LinkedIn, really doing these kind of office parody videos while including informative content about the vehicles. It's not just fun, but it's also very professionally edited and put together. It's not something that was just shot on somebody's iPhone. It's not an in-your-face commercial. And again, has really gotten the attention of the ad industry as a whole. And it's something that they're not even putting budget behind in terms of ad spend. Internally, there's a lot of budget obviously going into the production side, but there's no ad spend behind it. This took off completely organically. And I definitely think it's the type of strategy that for that platform is going to really take off and dominate, because it's causing people to stop and pay attention. And it's also creating buyers of people who really early in that buying cycle, which is incredibly important. We want people to know who we are before they're ready to make the decision. We want to be already in consideration. And this type of strategy and that type of platform is really going to allow for that.
Now, Drew, they're on top of the fact that it tends to lean younger, which I would say that a big chunk of TikTok's audience is millennial. There's also a reason why people are utilizing TikTok's search more these days than the traditional means. Why is that? What's been changing in the space that could cause people to go elsewhere? Teeing you up.
I think first and foremost, everyone that's ever tuned into one of our webinars in the last 2 years has heard me talk about search generative experience, which is now being called AIO. Which is Google incorporating generative search directly into the search engine results page. In kind of a surprising turn, after the launch, the actual searches that have generated these AIOs has significantly gone down, which, for many marketers, that's a great thing. But what it's led to is kind of these modified search engine results pages that generally look like Amazon product pages or product pages in general, It kind of mimics that flow. And the reason being that Google is trying to keep people on Google. They're increasing those no-click searches. But when somebody's looking for the best running sneakers of 2024, that type of search doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking for a product right away. They're looking for an opinion or an idea, product characteristics that lead them to understand what the best running sneaker of 2024 might be. And what we've seen is, I know I sent you guys a screenshot yesterday, that search basically has 4 ads on desktop, 1 organic result that's barely above the fold, and then a sponsored product listing all the way down the right side. So when you're looking for something like best running sneakers of 2024, all you see are ads. And then the first organic result is a listicle of best running sneakers of 2024, which is probably just curated content from other sites.
That's a technical term, listicle?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the technical term. And that's not what people want. So when you see a search engine results page like that, you're immediately going to get turned off. And that's when people are going to something like a TikTok or a YouTube, where they're kind of interacting with people that look like them, that shop like them, that have the same interests and the same buying behaviors as them. And then they're understanding, okay, well, this creator, they're a huge runner and they love this type of shoe. Let me go look at this product. Or they're going to something like ChatGPT or an other generative kind of area to understand, like, what's the entire internet saying? What is the best running shoe based on all of these sources, rather than just, looking at a paid ad. And we see that Google's making that switch themselves. They have a partnership with Reddit that was announced earlier this year. And if you've been on Google in the last 6 months, that basically every result has a Reddit listing at the top of the page. So that's not an accident. It's Google trying to get more user generated content and like first person reviews directly in the SERP.